Hello everyone and welcome back. So I'm going to start this video by saying that this tutorial is an advanced tutorial as well as it's going to be a long one due to the fact that this is advanced techniques with acrylic, and so it's going to be a longer process. So today's mini tutorial is on this lovely aquarium set. It's going to be hard to show you the movement due to the fact that there's a lot of images. Let's see if I can show it. You can see the bubble moving in there a little bit. There's glow-in-the-dark powders in there. There's glitters in there. And I have worked with acrylic for a long time. This is not my first aquarium set. I just haven't done one in a very long time. And they are very finicky. So with that being said, you may not have success on your first try. In fact, you may end up accidentally filing into the tank a few times and getting frustrated. It's a process. It's a very big learning curve for this particular type of mani. Now, in the title, I'm not going to call it aquarium nails because there are, at least there used to be, I don't know if there still are, there's legal issues involved with that. Evie from Long Hair Pretty Nails had actually gotten sued over it because of using that term. So I am not going to use that term in the description, but that's essentially what they are. And there's a lot of products involved. So I'm going to go ahead and get into the products that are in for the acrylic part, and then when I get into the decorating the acrylic, I will get into the products involved for the acrylic because there's that many products. So for starters, I use the IBD acrylic system, both the monitor and the powder. And I added Odor Out that I got from Amazon. You can also get IBD acrylic from Amazon. That reduces the odor of the monomer. I got the cherry scented. I also got that on Amazon. And it does help. If you are really super sensitive to acrylic smells, you can use Mia Secrets UV monomer and their powder that goes with it. It's a slow dry monomer that smells almost like vinegar, and you can help speed up its curing process in the lamp. And so it's a very unique monomer set with acrylic sets. So you can use that if you're very sensitive. But like I said, I use the Odor Out and it does make a big difference. Excuse me. So on the underside of the tips, I have long coffin tips on. They're kind of nasty looking because there's acrylic residue on them from when I did my other hand. But I use the Color Change from RAR JSM liner number 11 on the underside. I use glow-in-the-dark pigments, a white that is sky blue glow and a blue that's dark blue glow. Now, I have another container here of the black glitter, but the original one I accidentally dumped last night. It looks slightly different, but this one from Walmart will work just fine. It's very similar. And a holographic blue. So if acrylic is not really your thing, that's okay. You can use gel polish or regular nail lacquers that are similar. In fact, there is one similar to this from Maniology, though I would recommend gel over regular nail lacquers because applying charms to regular nail lacquer of this size can be quite difficult. So I will say that. All right, I need to grab my scoop. I need a better scoop. I need to invest in a better scooping tool for my glitters. I just have not yet, but I need to. I use base gel from Beetles, top coat from Beetles. It's a no wipe top coat. I use a black from Born Pretty for stamping polish, and I use Frozen from Maniology. And I also use baby oil, and I have it in a little bottle like this. You can get them on Amazon. It's a little craft bottle with needles tips that are flat, specifically for crafting. I will use that for filling up the wells. And for the tank, I use half cover long coffin tips. So I need, for my sizes, I need size 2, size 3, size 0, and size 6. So to find my size 0, I know it's in here. Here's my size 0. I use an e-file, but you can use a hand file, but it's much easier to use an e-file. Let's start with the thumb. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by putting our color on the underside. And I'm going to very carefully paint this into the well. I use the Gel X method with BT Art Box tips for the full cover tips. You can sculpt your own using just the half cover tips and essentially doing the same method. You don't need a full cover tip. I just do that because I change out my sets so often that I need to have a peel-off base coat. Be very careful not to get this on your skin. And to do a thin layer. You may have to remove some from it before curing when you're first applying. Spread it over the entire underside of the nail. Okay. Cure for 60 seconds in the lamp. And as you can see, this is color change. As it warms up, it turns blue. Set that off to the side. I don't want to accidentally knock that over again. I have knocked over so many polishes. I accidentally knocked over one glitter yesterday because there's so many elements to this that it was a night. And I didn't even get it finished last night. I started yesterday afternoon, and between taking care of the kids and everything else and everything working against me, and of course this is my dominant hand, so that's a lot harder to do. It was quite the night, guys. I don't do aquarium sets very often because they are such a pain to do. They're really cool and I love them, but they're exceptionally challenging. And if you are not accustomed to creating that kind of thing, it can be very frustrating. I remember the first few times I did it, and I was more determined back then, but I only had one special needs kid at that time. I hadn't had my youngest yet. So putting that kind of time and effort in wasn't as difficult as it is now. It's a lot more challenging to do it now because of how much it goes into them. And it didn't help that I accidentally screwed myself. I tried to skip ahead a step, forgetting that doing so could ruin the entire thing, and I did that on 4 fingers. and had to start over. So, we'll get to that of why not to do that and when not, when we get to that phase. Don't try to rush the process is all I'm going to say. It may make you take longer. What, Leia? My sweet girl. We have a visitor. She has been quite clingy recently. And she was also interfering last night when I was trying to do all of my work. My sweet girl. Yes, my sweet girl. I love you too. Alright, you're going to have to get down because I don't need your fur in all my products, baby. Okay? Yes, I love you too. You're a sweet girl. Yes, you is. You're a sweet girl. Love you too. Okay. So now I'm going to go in under the other 4. And I'm just going up to my glue line. Okay, I am not going up any further than that because I don't want it to touch the skin. You are probably going to have to do 2 coats. That's okay. It just takes a little while to do it. That's okay. I learned the hard way, we don't speed the process up. Speeding the process up will actually make it take longer. Don't try to force it. You don't want these layers to be too thick or they will not cure properly either. So make sure right before you put it in the lamp, everything is dispersed properly. So it does not pool in one section and then not cure properly. Okay, what kind of scam color do I have now? Oh, they're just gonna have to wait. I like how it even says potential spam. Yeah, I already figured that out. And then you want to cure on the lamp for 60 seconds, and then I will do a secondary coat and cure again for proper opacity. What, Peachy? Oh, my Peachy boy. Come here. Come here, baby. Where's your good boy? Yeah, he's a good boy. Okay. I'll give you a quick lovin's and then I gotta get back to work. Love you too, Peaches. Yes, I do. I love you too. Yes, my boy. Okay, now I'm going to go in with my second coat and get complained at by my cat. Hey, don't you get in my drawer. No. Don't you get, don't you give me attitude. You know you're not supposed to get in there. Stay out of my nail stuff, boy. It's a lay of hair. In just that very brief time in my lap, she's already donated several hairs. I am not worried about the gel getting on the underside of the free edge and stuff like that because we're going to be doing a bunch of filing in that area. So if it gets on the underside there, it's not a big deal. Excuse me. Okay. Now we're going to go in here for 60 seconds again, and that stage is done. So I am going to be putting stuff away as I'm done with them because I have very limited space. What, Peachy baby? I'm done painting that nail. I can give you more scritches. Yes, I love you too, baby. Yes, I do. My sweet little Peachy. You're a good boy. You're a good boy. My little Peachy. I can't believe how old you are, baby. So Peach and Topaz just recently turned 14 years old. We have had them since they were 8 weeks old. So they are quite elderly. And they are brothers from the same litter. They have been together their entire lives. So we know that when one passes, the other one likely is not going to live much longer. So we've already got a plan in place. We're going to be adding another kitty before too long that was rescued by a friend of ours. She'd found 2 kittens, and one of which once we have it's big enough to be treated for fleas, and it's treated for fleas, we're going to take it in. So will be joining the household, and we'll be working on getting it to bond with at least the female, little Miss Leia, because when the boys do pass, we know that she's going to not do too well, and we aren't going to be doing well either, and not well enough to add another cat to make her do better. So we are doing a preemptive measure and adding another one before that happens. Okay, so here's the fun part. Here's the acrylic part that I was talking about. So we are going to go in and we are going to make our tanks. Okay, so I'm going to start with the thumb. Grab my size 0 tip. And hopefully not screw this up. Okay. Grab some clear acrylic. And I'm going to apply it at the tip of the nail. Now I'm going to put the half cover tip down like so. Make sure it's centered. And then I'm going to get more acrylic, and I'm going to get as a dry, somewhat dry bead, as dry as I can get it, without it being non-functional, so it doesn't fill in the tank too much, because it can squeeze into the tank and it can cause problems. Ah, come back. No. Come back, my bead. Okay. And I'm just going to move it along the edges of the tank, filling it in. Do not cover the entire tank. Okay, that's where I effed up. That's where I effed up, is I covered the whole tank thinking I could save myself some time. No. What happens when you do that? It makes it too hard. So when you try to fill it and you stick the needle in, it'll crack it. It needs the flexibility of the plastic until you have filled it. Excuse me. So you do need flexibility with that, and that's why you cannot just cover the entire tank. And then get another one and do the other side. You don't want to get it on the skin, so avoid doing that if you can. Because of course, gel allergies are not the only thing out there. Acrylic allergies are a thing too. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and let that dry. And while that's drying, I'm going to go ahead and start the tanks for the others. So for the index finger, I'm going to need a size 3. And I will also need the same size for my ring finger. Excuse me. I am gassy today. And I do not know why. Okay. So I'm going to do the same thing that I did to the thumb. Grab a small bead of acrylic. And I'm going to place it at the tip of the nail. I just oopsie daisied. I missed a step. I missed an important step. And we're going to remove this. And as stated, we're not supposed to be on the acrylic yet. And I just realized we're not supposed to be on the acrylic yet. Scratch that. Okay. So let me remove the acrylic off of there and get a different 0 for the tank. I forgot that I have to stamp still. I got ahead of myself. I'm sorry, guys. Like I said, this is a very detailed one. I did not pull out any stops on this one. I went all out, and because of that, there's so many dang steps. I haven't done one like this in a long time. Bear with me, guys. I can fix this. This acrylic isn't dry yet. Okay. That's what I get for getting ahead of myself. Because you can see those things through it. So I can't just get away with saying, no, they're not needed. No, because I can see them in there. Okay. So if you do what I just did, as you can see, it's an easy fix. Let's try this again. This time, let's do it right. Sorry, guys. Okay, let's try this again. I actually need, stamping plates. So for the thumb, I'm going to need black, and I need Manialge's X, the Mermaid Polish M370. I need this image right here in black. Where's my brush? Make sure there's no nail dust. There we go. There. Okay, that was an easy fix. Okay. I need my black. I need my acetone. Cotton ball, scraper card, and stamper. Okay. We will also be using MXM 106 in this stage. Okay, so on this one, we just go on the bottom, go across like so. Okay, there's my cotton grabber. Cotton balls. Okay, so the polish does not get ruined, and the it doesn't get removed by the oil or the glitter or anything like that. To protect it, I do a coat of no wipe top coat, and so it doesn't stick to it, it's the no wipe. And I will go across it with rubbing alcohol as well as a protectorant on the image. I completely forgot about this step. I don't know how I forgot about this step. It's one of the coolest steps. As you can see it through the aquarium now. Go figure. Okay, so yeah. There's that. Oops. It'll be alright. Set that off to the side. We're going to need frozen for the rest. Peaches, baby, I love you too. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. I don't know what you think you're getting. You have food, you have water, you've gotten love. You got cuddles this morning and last night. What do you need, my boy? My sweet boy, I love you too. Yes, I do. I love you too. What's the matter? Are you in a deficit? Are you in a deficit? Is that it? You in a deficit of love? I'm sorry. I know I've been busy. I'm sorry, baby. I've been busy. I know. I know, my needy boy. I know. Okay, so now we're going to use the various bubbles on this plate. That was my favorite one to use for this. Where did my stamper go? Haha. Remove any images that you do not want. And apply to the nail. You can add however many or as little as you want. I change it up with each nail. As long as you don't oopsie daisy like I did on my hand yesterday in a multitude of ways, then you'll be okay. I use different orientations. And different amounts. I just judge based off of how it feels when I look at it. If it looks like it's going to be what I'm after, then I'll go with it. If not, I'll adjust accordingly. There we go. As you can see, we got lots of bubbles. I'm just going to go ahead and remove those. Put that up there. And grab these over here. Okay. Deal with my pad of tape there. Okay. Oh, that did something I didn't want it to do. Cool. I did not see that. Okay. So the gel polish pooled a little bit in an area I did not like. So I'm going to just trim it down so it's not up against my skin. Okay. And put that in the cleaning solution here a bit. Set it off to the side. Okay. So back to our bubbles. We are almost done with our bubbles. Then we can top coat and do the acrylic part. Now that I remembered the stamping part that goes before that. Okay. Okay. Bubbles. Bubbles. Okay, this is what we have. Okay. Move the polish off the tip of this. There. Okay, we are momentarily done with stamping. We are not done with stamping, but we are for the moment. Put my stamping stuff up for the moment, so I have space. And we can work on the acrylic. As stated, this is the purpose of this is specifically to protect the images. Nothing more. If you are not stamping under the underside of the tank and all of that and stamping in that area where the liquid's going to be, this is not necessary. This step is only if you're stamping inside of it. Okay, so I need to grab the zeros. I'm glad I didn't put those away. There's my 3s, and I just dropped one. Okay. 0. So I also use 2 for the middle finger and 6 for the pinky. Come on, out of the container, thank you. So, alright, let's try this again. Now that I'm no longer skipping a step by accident. Alright, grab my bead of acrylic and apply it to the tip of the nail. You don't want it to be too far up, because then you will have trouble with your apex. Okay. I'm going to try to get a relatively dry bead. Acrylic to seal the tank. And do it again on the other side. Once you've filled in all of those gaps, and your tank is sealed, move on to the next finger, leaving that open slot right there for your glitter and charms and liquid. I'm going to go ahead and do this too, since I have so much acrylic there. There. I'm going to fill in the sides of these. There we go. Just that's where I have the same amount on both sides. Okay. Make sure you're cleaning your acrylic brush as well with each use so you don't get built up acrylic, dried up in it, and ruining your brush. There's that side. There we are. Okay. Grab a dab of acrylic, put it at the end of the nail. We're going to rinse and repeat this process until all of the tips are on and all of our tanks are on. Ooh. Sorry, this is hard to do with longer nails. Okay, so I didn't have enough acrylic. It's an easy fix. Use my brush to remove the acrylic off of the tip so it does not hinder it. for what we're wanting. Grab some monomer, dip in the acrylic powder, apply to the tip, and try again. Alright, there's that. While I'm letting that set up, I'm going to apply acrylic to the tip of the other. Tip of the pinky. Don't quite want that much acrylic. Dang it. Thank you. Okay. Okay, now that's been raised up. You want to make sure that your tanks have enough space to even acquire any kind of liquid or glitter or anything like that. So make sure that there's a big enough gap that you can even apply any of those things. Okay. 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 So now we're going to add the other side of this tank. Okay. So now that our tanks are formed, as you can see there's gaps, we can apply our glitter and our glow-in-the-dark powder and our oil. Our baby oil. Okay, so I'm going to start by adding the glitter. This is where I'm going to be protecting my brush and my monomer and my acrylic powder and all that, so it does not get contaminated by glitter. Okay, we're going to start by adding a small amount of black. Not a lot, just a small amount. Heck, even the amount that I put in seems like it might be too much. Small amount of the blue. Cleaning off my tools so I don't have contamination. As you can see, this is a very messy process, and I do mean that nicely. It is a messy process. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of glow-in-the-dark powders, starting with the dark blue. Just a teensy bit, we don't want a lot. I want the stuff to be able to move around in there. And now the white that glows sky blue. Once again, we just need a teensy bit, not a lot. Okay, so now this is where things get fun. And we're going to do this to all of the nails, so bear with me. Acrylic prepped. So now I'm going to squeeze in my oil. And due to how much stuff is in there, you may have to wait a moment, fish around, and let it absorb into the powders and the glitter. This may take it a moment to sink down in enough that you can actually seal it. When it is time to seal it, you want to grab a Q-tip and some isopropyl alcohol and clean off any of the oil that got on the area that you're going to be applying acrylic. So very carefully remove. That oil, and then make a dry bead of acrylic. To fill this gap. You may have a little spill over. That's okay. You can clean it off after it cures. You just want to fill that gap in for the moment. Okay. That is going to secure the tank. If you get glitter in your acrylic up at the base, it's no big deal. Even if you get a little bit on the tank itself, still not a big deal. It adds to it, adds character. You'll be covering up a lot of that anyways. Then you want to finish building your structure to your nail. Okay, I'm going to take isopropyl alcohol to the spot where the oil squeezed out. So that everything will seal properly. Grab some acrylic and apply. This is where we're going to start covering our tank with acrylic. Okay. And you're going to want to do that. You want that protective layer. Okay. If you don't like big and bulky nails, this is not going to be something for you. When it comes to aquarium nails, they tend to be bulky. That's just unavoidable. The other method is still bulky, just not on the top. It's on the bottom, making it feel even clunkier and worse than just having a thick nail on top. That's just me personally. I have done both methods. This is nothing new for me. With that being said, like, this is absolutely nothing new. The other method I like less. It looks nicer, but the feel of it while wearing it is abysmal to me. And I'm not a fan of it. Okay. That nail is formed. Just needs to be filed. Okay. Back to the fun. So we have formed that nail. Needs to cure. And then we can file it. There's glitter everywhere. It's like a glitter monster just blew up on my desk. Okay. Alright. So I'm going to cap off some protection thing. And we're going to add our glitters. And all of that good stuff. So I'm going to start by getting a small scoop of black. Into each of the wells. And a small scoop of blue. That index is going to be a problem. I can already see it now. Fun. Okay. Due to how this particular tank formed, and I can tell by looking at it, this one's going to be my problem child. That's okay. That's okay. We can fix. We can fix. Okay. So when I'm having major struggles, I use my tool of the lovely tweezer variety, a nice fine point, if I'm having trouble getting the glitters in. Now, you have to be careful not to go too far because you can damage your tank, but you still have those options to kind of help force those down in there so that way it's not all at the top when you try to put your liquid in. You need to have room, you need to have space for the liquid to get past the powder and glitter. Alright. Otherwise you're going to find yourself in quite a pickle. That was me last night. So I said, this one's clearly stated it's going to be my problem child today. That's okay. We can deal with that. That was what I intended for that finger. This ought to be fun. I am tapping it down in further. To its well. Alright, the last little bit. Come on. On goes the cat. Okay. And once again, we're going to go into our tapping. Tap, tap, tap. Doing what we can to make sure that all of this goes where it's supposed to. Inside of the nail. Come on. Tap in there, baby. Tap into your spot. You know you wanna. Okay. The hardest part is not adding too much glitter and things like that. I am adding the liquid quite slowly, so it has time to sink in past the powder and the glitter. You're going to have some overflow issues when it's super full like that. That's okay. You can clean it up. And make it so where it doesn't interfere with the acrylic. Okay. Now I've cleaned off the oil off the areas that I need to apply acrylic. Get a dry bead. And apply. I'm gonna seal off the tanks. I'm gonna have to clean my brush something fierce after this. I can see some acrylic collecting in it. Peaches. Stop it. Stop it. Buddy, you're loved. Now stop. Don't you snort at me, Mr. Attitude. So don't mind my bratty cat. He has quite the attitude. I'm gonna have to clean my brush. Yeah, I lost all the fluid in that tank. Okay. 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 Now we've got the fun part, finishing sealing this off. Get some fresh paper towels. These are getting kind of nasty. Clean my brush real quick while this is curing. Because that brush is absolutely abysmal state right now. So this needs to be cleaned out before I proceed. There it is. The acrylic festering in my brush. Found you. Don't you dry in my brush. So if you don't want to have to soak your brush in acetone and have it possibly be completely ruined, make sure you clear all acrylic out of your brush before putting it in storage and cleaning it out repeatedly while you're using it. Otherwise, all of what you see that I'm scraping out of this, yeah, that would turn into a very hard mess on my brush, and I likely would not have a brush anymore. I have lost many of brushes to this over the years, and then I finally found a brush that worked best for me, as well as proper care. I had finally learned proper care, and this brush is several years old and has seen lots of love. Clean out all of the acrylic out of the bristles. Okay. Before resuming. There we go. So now we're going to seal the rest of these up. Before going in and filing. Now, in case you all are wondering, acrylic is actually the first nail extension product I ever started working with. I did not start with gels and polygel and things like that. I actually started with basic nail lacquers and acrylic. Way back in the day. Back before I even had my oldest son. In fact, I got pregnant with him shortly after I had started playing with acrylic. And I'd had to take a hiatus, obviously. Financials, health, things like that, because pregnancy and doing constant acrylics was not something you can really do. And we couldn't financially support me buying the product at the time. So I took a hiatus until he was about a year old and started diving back into it again. And I've been doing it ever since. Okay. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start filing. While some of these are curing, I'll have to wait, but move this aside. hopefully I will not need it. So I'm going to start with the thumb because that's where we started and it's the most cured. I'm going to go in on the sides, do some refined shaping before going in with the E-file. You got to be very careful not to file into the tank. Alright. Don't need these. Let's put those away. Clean this dust off of myself real quick. There's a lot of acrylic on the underside of that I do not like. Can I get that out before it finishes curing? Or am I going to have to file that? Nope, I'm going to have to file that. Dang. Whatever. This is what it is. Okay, grabbing my E-file. So I have this lovely new cuticle bit. It makes this part a lot easier. Go in on the side. I'm going to grab a 120 rubber band, 20 grit. I don't want it too harsh, but I also don't want it too soft. Now I'm going to file this down, level with the rest of the nail. I'm going to go in and I'm going to file some of the bulk off. Careful not to file into the tank. Now these are going to be bulky just due to the nature of the tank. That's just how aquarium nails are. They tend to be bulky. It's the nature of them. Okay. Alright, so this one is filed and shaped. And do the same thing to all the others. Interestingly enough, while I'm filing, I'm getting that cherry smell, which is kind of nice. There we go. just removing some excess bulk and shaping. While simultaneously trying not to file into the tank. Now if you're wondering why I skipped the pinky, it's because I need to file the underside with a different bit before I go in with this. Otherwise it's going to mess with the shape if I don't do the underside first. Sorry, my hands are sweating, making it hard to grip. My e-file. You may have to adjust the acrylic and add to it based off of the shape and everything else. You'll see after you start filing. It looks like I may have to add a little more. We'll see in a moment. Ooh, dusty. If my fan dust collector wasn't so dang loud. There, I would be using it right now. But it's really loud. Okay, let's grab the hand file. Start working on that part. This one needs just a little bit more acrylic. Right here. Okay. And once we're done with this filing, we can clean up the acrylic stuff and get into the rest of the art stuff. Oops, wrong direction. Did I bust through the tank? Yes, I did. Okay. So that means I need to fix that. Okay. So, I just busted through my tank. That's an easy enough fix. I want to show you how I know I busted through my tank. This spot suddenly became wet. So that is busted through. So before I lose too much liquid, I'm going to clear off the dust off my nails real quick and apply the acrylic to that nail and then the other one that needed it, that I was done filing until it was applied. So much dust. Where is my acrylic brush? Okay, so we'll fix this one first. We know now we cannot file that deep in on that nail. Not a problem. We can fix this. This one will just have to be stockier than I had intended. That's okay. In my filing, trying to make it as neat and as thin as possible, given what kind of nail it is, I ended up filing into the tank. This is not an uncommon occurrence. This happens often to me. I'm used to it. At least this is the first one that has happened on, and I'm almost done filing. So I'd say that's pretty good, considering that happened to almost every single finger on the other hand. Yeah, doing this stuff with my left hand is not something I'm good at. It's the reason I stopped doing it for so long. Aquarium sets were ones that I just gave up on because it was just too difficult for me to do in any kind of timely manner and without a complete battle. Unless I use the other method, which I'm not super fond of at all. I'll probably end up doing it again though, just to show you guys. Oh, that looks better. That structure looks better. That's better. Much better. Okay. Okay. All right. This pinky is going to be a pain in my booty. I'm going to have to do a hand wash after I'm done with the filing. I have dust all over my nails. Okay. So I need this bit to clean up the underside of the nail where I accidentally got acrylic in the underside. That's an easy enough fix. All right. Okay. We're almost there, guys. We're almost to the fun decorating part. Alright guys, she's filed. Alright. The amount of dust. Okay. Set that aside for cleaning. Grab my cleaning solution. No idea what time it is. No, I've been at this for a while though. Okay. Yay, I can put my acrylic away. My glitter. Wash my hands. Get my space prepared for the next phase. Okay. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to wash my hands real quick to get all this dust off. The final part. And apparently for me to accidentally drop the charger cord and unplug the camera. Cool. So much fun. Sorry about that, guys. Now that we have filed all of that good stuff, set that up there. So I have lots of stuff here. Just give me a moment, and I will go over these products with you. Still trying to clean all this up. Get all this moved where I need it. This off to the side. This would probably be the most extensive mani I've ever done for you guys. That's saying something because the jellyfish was an extensive one, so was the goldfish encapsulation one. That goldfish encapsulation one was a super extensive one. And even that one doesn't hold a candle to this. Whew. So much stuff. That's oh, my stamper got flipped. Alright, I need my stamping stuff. Well, guys, like I said, it's a long one. This took a ridiculous amount of time to do, and this is nothing unusual. Okay. Okay. Now on to the rest of the products here. So the rest of this is gel paints and stamping polishes and gel polishes to use to create charms. So the coral and the seashells and the starfish, those are all created by a mold. This lovely mold right here. And I also have pearls that I got from Amazon. This one's from Beetles. These are from Amazon. It's a nice lovely multi-pack. And okay, so the plates that I use is MXM 106 and M370. Now that I look back on it, I never even touched this plate, even though it's out. I only used these two plates. And I have one of the two sharks I'll need to create already pre-done. I will just do another one to show you how I filled it in. That's to save some time. And I will also be using this lovely mermaid right here, full image. And I'll also be using the little fishies and our lovely little squid right here. And that's right, I also used this mermaid right here. So we're going to go in and do all of that in just a moment. Those are the plates. I used a royal blue gel paint from Amazon and black gel paint from Amazon. That'll be our next phase of what we're doing. I used Beetles rhinestone glue, Born Pretty's black stamping polish. The rest of these are Maniology, so I have Coconut B268, Frozen B316, Folklore B415, Frosty Cheer B534, Ocean Floor B483, Mirror Mirror B220, Greyjoy B181, and Shattered B372. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by doing a gradient at the top of the nail. with black and then the blue. Get myself some acetone in a dish. Okay. Gonna need an application brush. Alright, so we're gonna start up at the cuticle area. And work our way around. And then down. What is that? Something that does not belong. I guess I didn't get all the dust out of there. There. Even with the scrub brush. In the cleaning solution you go. And work it about halfway down. The nail bed. You're going to do this to all 10 nails. You can put a cuticle berry on if you'd like. You are most likely going to need to do more than one coat. That's okay. There. Get you guys a little closer. Just realized how far away you guys were. Apologize. We've been at this for a while, so bear with me. Okay, I'll put that in for 60 seconds, and then I'm going to do another coat before going in with my blue. Okay. Oh boy, this is kind of getting close to being done. Bingo. Ooh, you can see the glow. So as you can see, that's the glow in the dark pigment right there. That is the glow in the dark pigment. You can see it in various spots on the nails. All right. All right, now I'm going to pop that in the lamp for 60 seconds, and then we can start working on the blue. Clean my brush, because I don't want gel to get hardened in it. What, Topaz? What, baby? Everybody wants mom today, apparently. Hey, baby. So we have Topaz, my other old boy. He's 14 as of this month. And him and Peach are both getting kind of old. And they're my love bugs. My absolute love bugs. They're so clingy all the time. Yes, my baby. Okay, mom's got to get back to nails. Okay. So now we're going to go in with our blue. And we're going to dab across. We're going to do a nice little sponging. Across the nail. I love you too, Topaz. Yes, I do. I love you too. Yes, you sweet boy. He's a good boy. You're a good boy. I love you too, baby. Topaz, buddy, you're not helping matters. There we go. Pop that in the lamp. All this cat hair. Yes, I love you. I know, you're shedding. Heavily. What, sweet boy? What, my old boy? I love you too. Hey, sweetie. Never a dull moment. If it's not the cats, it's the kids. If it's not the kids, it's the rats. If it's not the rats, it's the gerbil. If it's not the gerbil, it's the husband. There's always something. Alright, so we're going to work on that transition spot. and darken that up. Sponge more blue in the transition area. I love you too, Topaz. Yes, I do. That goes in to the lamp. For 60 seconds. Want my jingle butt. Anything to be close to Mama, huh? Mama loves you too. Don't ever forget that, buddy. Mama loves you too. He's a good boy. Yes, you are, Topaz. He's a good boy. Hi, sweet baby. Yes, I love you too. Yes, I do. There's your good scratches. Okay, time to do the thumb. I'm going to do the same steps as before. Pop that in the lamp. Where's your sweet jingle baby? Yes, you'll get your chinny rubs and chinny scratches. Yeah. Mama's got good scratchers now, huh? Yeah. Who's your good boy? Okay. Okay. This should be enough to finish this off. Darken the areas that were not dark enough. Alright, then we can clean our brush. and be done with the brush. My detail brush, because I'm going to need that before long. Oh, my baby. I know it's been a busy day. Mama been working all day. And all night last night. I know. It's been busy. I saw it, buddy. Here. After we're done with this step, I'm going to put base coat on all of the nails, and then we're going to go in and we're going to make our charms, and then we're going to get into the stamping. Like I said, the whole purpose of what I'm doing is to blur that line between the blue and the black. Get a nice gradient going here. And then cure. I am not sure which one of the neighbor's dogs is yapping their head off, but it is. So I apologize if you can hear it. It does not sound like the neighbor directly next door, so I don't think it's one of theirs. It sounds too far away. Sounds like it's about 2 doors down. And I alternately did not have nearly as much waste this time around on gel polish. That makes me happy. Let's get a fresh set of paper towel. To start with. So here's where things are going to get kind of fun. Go ahead and do my base coat real quick on all my nails, and then I will go ahead and start making these charms. And going over the gels involved for that. So I have a bunch of colors from beetles that I use. And as you can see, now that I'm applying the base coat, all of this is coming together quite nicely. You can start to see the end results on what they're going to be. Now, if you're wondering why I'm applying the base coat over this, it is to smooth it out and make it easier to apply the stamps. It also leaves a tacky layer, so I don't have to fool the stamps for so long and be as quick about it. Cool. Not sure what my husband wants, but that would be him. Must be letting me know that he's going to be home late or something like that. These cat hairs. Okay. Okay, put that in the lamp. Okay, what does the hubby need? Sweet. Sounds like he is starting to have a better day. That's good. Okay, so the colors of gel polish that I use from Beetles are these lovely ones right here. So I have two coral-like pinks, a brighter pink, a chocolate brown, and I guess you could say latte brown. It's a kind of type of creamy brown. And these are the colors I use to create my charms. So let's go ahead and go in with that. I'm going to start with the chocolate brown on the seashell, which is this one right here. So we're going to go ahead and zoom in so we can get a better view. And let's see if adding the plate as background helps any. Actually, it does. So let's do that. Then we're going to go in and create some lines with the chocolate brown around the shell. Ooh. Preferably not spilling it. like I just did. Okay, so once you've done that, I'm going to go in with the brighter pink for the starfish. Topaz, can you keep your hair? I don't want it. You're cuter with fur. So can you stop sharing it? Okay, so now we're going to go in on these cute little starfish. And we're going to fill them in, but we want to leave a small divot so they go nicely onto the nail. And also so they cure properly. Okay. So there's the starfish. So that's complete. Once that is cured, so now for the coral. The coral's gonna be a fun one. It has a lot of indentations and a lot of crevices. You need to fill with the brush and the gel. This is the darker of the two coral colors. As you can see, this is a really big coral shoot, and it's going to take some patience. When dealing with it. Okay, now that we've filled in that coral piece, we need to fill in the final coral piece, which is this lighter coral color. Just right up here. I'm using my brush to shove the gel into any hole and crevice so we don't lose any of the fine details or anything like that. There we go. All right. I'm going to pop this in the lamp for 60 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and pick up the mermaid to get it prepped. To reverse stamp. I'm going to use black from Born Pretty. Okay, there's my mold. Haha. Ooh, that was close. It was almost disastrous. Okay. Alright, so now we're going to go in with our creamy latte color on our shell. Don't want it too thick or it's not going to cure properly. Okay. Put another layer of this lovely pink on the coral, a small piece of coral. All right, perfect. Pop her in the lamp for 60 seconds. Alright. I'm going to pick up the other shark. Cat hair galore. Shark. Okay, so now we need base gel for the remainder of the seashell. There we go. And pop her in the lamp. That'll be the final step for all of these charms. Okay. So we're going to get into the reverse stamping in just a moment. Okay. So for the shark, I used Frozen, Greyjoy, and Folklore. I used Frozen in the eye. Greyjoy for the bottom. And then up the fin. Like so. And the rest is Folklore. Okay. And we filled in our shark. Nice, lovely zombie shark. Okay. There you have it. Now we're going to go in with the mermaid. Pulling my charms out of the lamp. So now for our mermaid, we're going to need a lot of different colors here. Excuse me. We are going to need coconut. We are going to need frosty cheer, mirror mirror, ocean floor, and shattered. Okay. I'm going to start with coconut, which I use for the skull and bandage parts. So there's her bandages. Do the skull. And the skull's on her little bralette. Okay. And that is all I use coconut for. Okay, so I use mirror mirror for the wings and the tip of the tail. Okay. And that's all I use mirror mirror for. Okay, so now we have ocean floor for the remainder of the tail. Hopefully I can get this in time before I need to pick up my kid. We are getting close to being done though, so. And then we've filled in the tail with ocean floor. That is all we use ocean floor for. Now we are going to go in with shattered on the hair, the straps, the lips, and the eyes. Okay. So now that we've filled that in, we need to get her skin tone. Which is Frosty Cheer. So, sorry guys. I'm still working on getting everything set up for the charger up higher than what this is. Oopsie. I just realized I missed part of her hair. There. Fixed. Okay, back to Frosty Cheer. Okay. Now that we've filled in the mermaid, this is what she's going to look like. Alright, so we're going to back it up. And we're going to put the main body of the shark on the ring finger, due to the fact that I cannot change the orientation easily of what it's facing. But on the opposite hand, it's on the middle finger and not the ring finger. Okay. Now we need the tail. All these cat hairs. I swear, I don't know how my cats still have fur. I really don't. The amount of fur they shed every day, which clogs up our vacuum regularly, is beyond me. I do not understand how they can shed so much and then not be bald, because they shed all year round. All year round. I'm over here fighting with the cat hairs all over my nails. They're stuck to my nails everywhere. Oh my goodness. Well, if I somehow accomplish a menu that doesn't have cat fuzz, it'd be a miracle. So we're going to take the tail and go like that. Okay. Alright. I think it's time to change that. No, stop it. Go back in your home. Okay, thank you. Okay, so underneath the shark's tail, I have from MXM 106 these lovely bonefish with black stamping polish. So there you go. Out of my way. Perfect. So let's go in with our bony fish. All right, so under the shark's tail, I have my bony fish. I'm going to grab this mermaid right here. And we're going to put that on the index finger. Like so. And then we're going to bring in some fish. You can put them above and below. It don't matter. Whatever your personal preference is. I put that one a little high, so probably going to go down low with the zombie fish to balance it out. Okay, so let's get some more of these little zombie fish. And clean up around. Okay. Apparently, more cat hair. There we go. Then we have zombie fish. And last but not least, we will have our little sweetie guy right here with frozen. And we're going to put him on the pinky, like so. Okay, so now we've done all that, we can put our mermaid on. We're almost done, guys, I promise. We're almost done. We are almost to the spot where we put charms on and top coat and we're done. Okay. So I'm going to line her up at the top of the nail and press down. We are done with our stamping. And we are down to the top coat and charms. Okay. Okay. So now I have all these lovely charms that we just got done making. I'm going to carefully remove from the mold. So we have coral piece 1 that's smaller, coral piece 2 that's bigger, and in 2 different colors. We have our starfish and our lovely seashell. So as you can see, we have our lovely seashell. Nice piece of coral. Another good piece of coral. And our lovely little starfishes. They are quite tiny and adorable. Stuff out of the way. Our pearls. I do not need base gel any longer. I just need top coat and rhinestone glue. So, by the shark, we're going to apply our rhinestone glue. For our coral and seashell. So this dang shell is a bit of a pain in my rear end when it comes to placement. As you can see. Okay. I need a small pearl. In here. It's a very specific size I'm looking for. Crud. We're almost done though, so we'll get it. It's the only spot where I use that. Top coat. Let's top coat the coral and the shell. And the pearl. Okay. Pop that in the lamp. 30 seconds. Just need to charge my lamp too. Great. That looks like that needs to be nipped. Alright. Yep, it sure as hell does. Cool. That's easy enough fix. put a pearl and the coral at the bottom of this. There's my coral. And there's my pearl. Okay. Top coat, and then we're on to the thumb. I am rapidly running out of time. I knew today would be a busy day. I knew this video would be a long one. Good grief. I hate cutting everything this close because I gotta freaking take the kid to a doctor's appointment about an hour away too. Okay, so the other pearl that I'm going to need, voila, along with the little starfishes. Okay, so starfish and pearl. Starfish. And the pearl. Okay. Alright, so now we go in with our top coat. Okay, looking good. Clean up cuticle line. Pop her in the lamp and we're good to go. So if you have stuck with me this long, thank you. I have greatly appreciate it. But this is how I created this lovely aquarium set. And like I said, this is an advanced set altogether. all about this is advanced. So there's a lot going on, obviously, and thank you for sticking with me this long if you have, and I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you all have a good morning, afternoon, evening, night, whatever it may be while you're watching this video, and until next time guys, thank you all for watching. Bye.